Hey guys, this is James and this is James Workshop, and this is take two because my mic was not hooked up. So today we are looking at, take these off, we are looking at the Tau Auxiliary Forces, and that, GW, what they were doing was great, but they could be doing more. GW have failed at expanding what should be an easy W for GW. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's just go look at simply. We had a lot of Kroot releases most recently. Lots of different leaders. You've got the Kroot Rider, and you've got the Rampages there. You've got all the Kroot Hounds. You've got the new Kroot Lone Spear, which I believe is actually a brand new model, not really based on previous models, probably based on some photos and lore. We've got the kill team of Vespid Stingwings, which are amazing. And we've also just got, obviously, lots of normal Tau. Lots and lots and lots. And what GW have been doing, when I say of late, probably over the last 5-6 years, maybe even longer, is just been slowly going through their catalogue of all 40k models and just re-releasing new designs of their old models. There's been not much innovation, and I would say I'm a Leagues of Votan fan. I love them. Love them. And it's all basically brand new. There's no real old designs. You've got the themes from Dwarfs. You've not gone stray too far. But you've been quite brave, and it's been very successful. And I think the community overall loves what you've done with the Leagues of Votan. And I remember when they came out, there was some criticism of why haven't you done this to the Tau? And I just kind of want to bring that back up, because I think GW have failed. And the reason I think they have failed is because it's been a good opportunity to release a massive Kroot army or another Tau auxiliary force that can be run as its own individual army, but also be brought into the Tau, but also could be brought into Leagues of Votan or an independent Imperial Guard force. And when I say Imperial Guard, I don't mean Imperial Guard, I just mean Guard. Because we know not all planets in the entire galaxy in 40k are aligned or even know of the Emperor, of the Imperium, and all this. There's so much you could do. And you can make it that these armies, well, you can make their own armies, and they can also, these forces can be put into other armies. And I think there's a real awesome lore perspective there, and it also just allows you to release some really awesome models without kind of oversaturating the player base with different armies. So you could release, let's say you release 5 boxes of different models for the Kroot that don't exist. That allows people to expand what they already have in their Kroot force in the Tau, but they can run it either as just a Kroot army purely, that's kind of diversive, or they can bring all these elements into the Tau army, or maybe even the Leagues of Votan if you went down that route, allowing them to be mercenaries. So, and I want to give credit as well. Some of their remodels have been pretty much perfect. I mean, if it loads, Commander Farsight, this is perfect. What a fantastic model. I mean, everyone loves the model. I love it. This thing was sold out for so long on release. And it's actually worth 110 Australian. I think it's actually that good of a model that even like the back of these armor leg things here, I don't know what it's called. It just looks good. The whole model is perfect. So you guys have done a great job recently, and some of your older stuff is awesome, but it's time to look at what else you could do. And saying that, I just want to have a look at some of the Tau auxiliary forces. And obviously, you've got a big Kroot release that we just went through. Let's have a look at the Kroot. So if you know a bit of lore about the Kroot, basically they eat their kill. So if the Kroot kill a lot of one type of species, they might start to mutate. And then that's how we get the subspecies. So you've got the normal Kroot carnivores. It's kind of the basic soldier for the Kroot. If they eat too much of like a gorilla species, for example, they will end up being one of these big Krootox. I love that. I've actually got really fun lore. If for also an example, eat too many like wolves or dogs, you become one. Just fun lore, and I like to see this expanded with other other races and other creatures that the Kroot have eaten. That'd be really cool. So looking at the Kroot, and if you want to stay, this allows GW to not even stray too far away. Just re-release the Narlock. Now, obviously, as we just looked at before, you've released this Kroot Lone Spear. And let's just double check what he is riding. A tamed Calamandra. So it's not Kroot. Just wanted to confirm that. It's not Kroot, so it's not a replacement of the Narlock. Perfect. Re-release this Narlock, make it look very different than that, and make it look very different than the Krootox. And you can have maybe a heavy or bigger or even lighter. You can redesign it. You can make it whatever you want. Cavalry unit. Or release the Big Daddy, the Great Narlock. This it's such a fun model back in the day. I remember in the 2000s seeing this on the tabletop. It was so cool. You release these two models. You kind of expand on the base Kroot Carnival. It's just some other, I don't know, other units. Maybe a heavily armored Kroot unit. A couple other things, and then boom, full Kroot army. You don't even need to release that much. You got a full Kroot army right there. And I'm sure you guys have a lot of designs sitting there in the back. Easy. Looking at the other Tower Auxiliary Forces, Demiurge. It's just a faction of Leagues of Votann. You could just even change the rules about releasing any models. I would be a fan if you guys released a couple of models that were themed around the Tau, or at least had a upgrade sprue that had some Tau stuff on there for the existing Leagues of Votann models. But maybe just make it so you can use some Leagues of Votann models inside the Tau. Because you've basically already done this. You've basically already released your first auxiliary force as a complete army. In fact, I'm going to say you've already done it once. Tick. Let's do it again with a Kroot. So easy. Now, let's look at the Vespids. Love the Vespids. I'll put my hand up. I love bugs in regards to Tyranids, and I like the Vespids. And I think I like the Vespids because of these boys. These guys were sick back in the day, and it was only a few years ago they were stopped being made, and they eventually replaced them in the last couple of years with the current versions, which they look cool. I like them. I like how they've redesigned. They're a bit more cohesive. They look better proportioned. No, I like them, but it's a kill team. Everything's not in unison. It's all like, yes, they all look the same, but they all have different weapons, and I would like to see some more armored versions of these guys that are an actual military force. And then let's expand the lore. Let's expand what these models look like. We really don't know much about the Vespids. How cool would it be to see a big armored like queen or something of the Vespids, however they work? Oh, I'm just dreaming now, just dreaming. You've also got the Guy Vesser, so just the humans aligned with Tau, so you could literally just release your own human military forces that either, this is up to the player, they have left the Imperium, or they don't even know it exists. Or they've been taken over by the Tau, you know? We have never had an official model. All we have is kit bashes, which is just basically just Cadian troops with Tau, either Tau helmets, Tau shoulder pieces, and Tau guns put on them, and that's about it. You've already done these upgrade sprues. If you want to keep it simple with the Cadians, just let's release a Tau Auxiliary upgrade sprue for the Imperial Guard Guardsman box. Done. Let them be played inside Leagues of Votann or just the Tau. Boom. Or let's release, even funner, some new Imperium Guard models. So don't have to Lehman Russ, whatever. Don't have to recreate everything. But just change a couple of parts. Put a couple of little upgrade parts on there that makes it Tau. So like Lehman Russ, just change the top tank cannon on there. Let's make it a Tau weapon. Boom. You guys can make it look so good. I bet you even have it designed. Other Tau Auxiliary Forces, most of these we don't even have any art. But if we just look at some of the descriptions here. So Marty contribute worm ships to the Tau fleet. And I'm pretty sure Yep, no photos of the worm ship. I'm sure that would look pretty cool in that Titanitus, I don't know, whatever the miniature versions are that they have flying around, that game mode. You could do it there. Galag. Cephalopod-like mercenaries, Gaug. There's just tentacle guys. You could do that. Great, contribute line ships and stealthers. I don't know. What is a stealther? Let's have a look. No art, as expected. Because there's no art on most of these. There's probably descriptions in the lore of all of these guys very briefly, but if you don't like the description, rewrite it. Renian employed as light infantry. I don't believe there's any photo. No, there is not. Kroot, Vespid. Yes, we actually have models of those. Moralian. They're soldiers that Deathspawn fight alongside the tower. That's a cool description. Oh, then there's no art at all. I'd love to see what these guys look like. Nikasar, a psychic void-faring race. Tower's oldest ally. Oh, the oldest ally of the tower? We should have a photo of them. Oh no, all we have is a random ship of theirs. Come on. There's so much here you could do. Just starting to rant, and which means it's just going to continue being a rant. I look forward to seeing what GW release next. For the tower, I don't even collect the tower, but when there's a cool model, I'll grab the model and just paint it up for myself. I would love to see what a leader of the Vespid race looks like, and I would buy that instantly. I'd pay GW's full price for that. Let me know your ideas of what GW should do with the Tau and the auxiliary forces. And if you like my idea of kind of being able to use these mercenary type forces inside the Tau Empire, but also in like other armies. Otherwise, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.